Welcome back to the Dinar Daily, where we act as your dedicated hub for navigating the complex and often shifting landscape of the Iraqi currency. We are glad to have you here for what is shaping up to be one of the most significant discussions we have had in recent months. Today, we are turning our focus entirely to a major update that has captured the attention of the entire community, sparking conversations from casual observers to long-term holders. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani has recently made public statements regarding the potential timing and readiness for a revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. This is not just another rumor floating around social media forums. This is a direct communication from the highest level of the Iraqi government. While it is crucial to state right up front that no official date has been released, his words indicate that serious, high-level discussions and intricate planning are currently underway. Before we go any further, I want to be crystal clear about the nature of this video. This is strictly news analysis. We are here to break down exactly what the Prime Minister said, what those words could practically mean for holders, and why these specific statements are generating such intense discussion. We will not be predicting rates, dates, or guaranteeing outcomes, but rather providing the critical context you need to understand the developing situation. To truly understand the weight of this update, we have to look closely at the specific language used by Prime Minister Sudani. In his speech, he did not offer a magic switch or a calendar date, which is actually a sign of professional responsibility. Instead, he highlighted the critical importance of financial and operational readiness, signaling that the relevant Iraqi authorities are currently in the process of aligning their internal systems. This is a meaningful development because it suggests that the government is moving beyond theoretical discussions and into the realm of logistical preparation. For holders who have been waiting for years or even decades for legitimate signs of progress, this acknowledgement is significant. It does not mean a revaluation is guaranteed to happen tomorrow, but it does strongly suggest that the government is actively preparing for the possibility. Understanding this nuance is the key to managing expectations. The Prime Minister's focus on readiness tells us that they are treating this as a complex operation that requires all systems to be go before any public switch is flipped. Let's dive deeper into why these signals from a Prime Minister carry so much more weight than the usual speculation we see online. When a high-ranking official, the head of the government, speaks about potential financial developments, it operates in a completely different reality than a forum post or a rumor shared in a chat room. The revaluation process for a national currency is not something that happens in isolation. It requires careful, almost surgical coordination among multiple massive entities, including the Central Bank of Iraq, international banking partners, and various legal authorities. When the Prime Minister signals that discussions are happening, it implies that coordination is taking place at these elite levels. While the exact outcome remains unconfirmed, such statements indicate that internal assessments, strategic planning, and operational preparation are active. This is vital for holders to grasp because preparation is a tangible part of the process. Recognizing the difference between a signal of preparation and a confirmed action is the first step in responsible holding. Now, we need to explore what the process behind a potential revaluation actually looks like. Based on the context of Sudani's speech, if a revaluation occurs, it will not be a sudden, chaotic, or spontaneous event that catches the banking system by surprise. It involves multiple, redundant steps designed specifically to ensure credibility and safety for everyone involved. The first and perhaps most critical step is the verification of holdings. Every single dinar note in circulation must be authentic and eligible for any potential exchange process. This is the primary mechanism to protect the financial system from fraud and counterfeit currency. By emphasizing readiness, The government is essentially saying they need to be sure they can distinguish real assets from fake ones before opening the doors. This protects legitimate holders like you and ensures that if a process is activated, it is done so with a clean ledger. Beyond just verifying the paper notes, there is the massive undertaking of banking and operational readiness. This was a key theme in the Prime Minister's address. Iraqi banks and their international partners need to have updated digital systems, thoroughly trained staff, and verified procedures for handling secure transactions. You cannot execute a monetary shift of this magnitude with outdated software or untrained tellers. Operational readiness means stress testing the infrastructure to ensure it can handle a surge in volume and scrutiny. It involves confirming that the liquidity, the actual financial backing, is in place to support structured exchanges safely. Without confirmed liquidity and robust infrastructure, any attempt at revaluation would fail. Therefore, when Sudani mentions readiness, he is likely referring to this vast behind-the-scenes effort to modernize and secure the banking pipelines that would facilitate any future changes. Another layer that we must unpack is the absolute necessity of international oversight and compliance. A currency revaluation is never just a domestic issue. It is a global event that requires the stamp of approval from international financial institutions. These global bodies must recognize the process for it to be considered credible in the world market. Compliance ensures that Iraq's financial moves align with international anti-money laundering standards and global banking regulations. PM Sudani's comments indicate an acute awareness that international coordination is a critical component of their planning. This suggests that the discussions he alluded to likely involve aligning Iraq's domestic protocols with strict international standards. This adds a layer of confidence for observers, as it suggests the government is not acting in isolation but is viewing verification and readiness within a mandatory global context. Let's talk about what structured activation might actually look like, as this is a concept implied by the focus on planning. Once all the preliminary steps, verification, operational readiness, liquidity confirmation, and compliance are in place, any activation of a new value would likely be phased and highly controlled. This is standard procedure for major financial systems to protect holders and ensure smooth transactions. A phased approach allows authorities to handle exchanges safely, verify processes in real time, and ensure that every single transaction is documented and legal. The Prime Minister's comments about readiness hint at the importance of this kind of structured rollout. It implies they are trying to avoid a chaotic free-for-all scenario. For holders, understanding this potential for a structured approach is key to maintaining realistic expectations. It means the process, if it happens, will likely be orderly, bureaucratic, and methodical rather than instant. This brings us to a very practical point for everyone listening: why preparation is so important for you right now. Even though a specific date has not been confirmed, understanding the complexity of the process allows holders to be ready if and when an official announcement is made. Preparation starts with the verification of your own holdings. You should ensure that all your notes are authentic, in good physical condition, and properly documented. Keeping a personal record of serial numbers, denominations, and the physical condition of your notes is an essential habit. It turns you from a passive holder into an active manager of your assets. Furthermore, securing your holdings physically is paramount. Protecting physical notes from theft, water damage, or loss is a practical step that cannot be overlooked while waiting for high-level political decisions to play out. We also need to address the buzz this news has created and the psychological impact on the community. PM Sudani's speech is generating attention because it represents government-level acknowledgement of the revaluation discussion. When top officials signal that they are considering or preparing processes, it naturally builds confidence. However, this excitement must be measured and realistic. Confidence leads to discussions and community engagement, which are good things, but they can also lead to hype. It is crucial to remember that a signal is not a confirmation of immediate revaluation. The community's reaction is a mix of excitement, curiosity, and caution, all of which are healthy if approached responsibly. Understanding the dynamics behind these reactions helps you approach the news critically, filtering out the noise to focus on the signal that the topic is being taken seriously at the highest levels. Let's take a moment to focus specifically on what operational readiness entails, as Sudani highlighted this as a part of the discussion. This involves ensuring that banks, financial systems, and government entities are fully prepared to manage a large-scale exchange. This includes testing banking infrastructure, confirming liquidity availability, training staff, and verifying that all systems can handle exchanges safely. These steps are standard in financial operations and are meant to protect holders from mistakes, fraud, or system errors. The fact that a prime minister mentions operational readiness indicates that authorities are evaluating these critical components right now. This means that discussions are happening at a structural level to ensure that if activation occurs, the process will be organized, controlled, and secure. It is the boring, technical work that makes the exciting outcome possible. We cannot stress enough the importance of verification and legal compliance, which PM Sudani emphasized. Verification ensures that every note is legitimate and belongs to a verified holder, while compliance ensures that international financial institutions recognize the process. This two-step process is essential for credibility. Without verification, exchanges cannot be secured. Without compliance, international recognition is impossible. The Prime Minister's message highlights that authorities are actively thinking about these processes, signaling seriousness and planning. Understanding these requirements is a reminder that preparation and record keeping are just as important as monitoring news updates, because the official process will depend entirely on verified holdings and adherence to strict compliance rules. Now, let's consider the international dimension in more detail. Any potential revaluation involves more than just the nation of Iraq. International banks, global regulators, and foreign investors all play a role in ensuring credibility. Sudani's comments indicate an awareness that international coordination is critical. This means that discussions, verification, and preparation likely involve aligning with international standards, legal protocols, and financial institutions. While this doesn't guarantee a revaluation, it highlights that authorities are considering all necessary steps for a credible, globally recognized process. This adds a layer of confidence that the government is not acting in a vacuum. International recognition is a major component of any structured financial process, and it appears the Iraqi leadership is keenly aware of this requirement. Why does patience matter so much in this specific context? PM Sudani's speech emphasizes careful planning, which suggests that rushing the process is not an option being considered. Patience is critical because the steps involved: verification, banking readiness, liquidity confirmation, compliance checks, and international alignment take a significant amount of time to get right. For holders, patience is not just about waiting passively. It is about understanding the process and preparing effectively. Acting impulsively based on rumors or speculation can be risky. By contrast, understanding that authorities are working in phases and systematically increases your confidence that if the process proceeds, it will be safe, verified, and structured. This is a key takeaway. Readiness is being considered carefully, not hurriedly. One of the most important elements highlighted in the update is the need for credibility and legitimacy. Any process must be credible both domestically within Iraq and internationally. Credibility is built through verification, compliance, operational readiness, and structured planning. Legitimacy requires alignment with financial regulations, banking infrastructure, and international recognition. Sudani's statement reflects an awareness of this need, signaling that authorities are considering these critical factors. This is important because credible processes reduce risk and create confidence. Following verified channels and understanding official statements helps holders differentiate between credible updates and rumors, which is a crucial step for responsible holding. Let's analyze the impact of official signals versus rumors throughout the dinar community. Rumors and speculation are common, often spreading like wildfire on social media. However, PM Sudani's statements represent official communication. Official signals are different because they indicate high-level acknowledgement and planning rather than anonymous speculation. While a signal is not confirmation, it provides insight into priorities and discussions at the government level. Recognizing this distinction is key for holders to make informed decisions. Rumors often spread rapidly and can mislead, while official messages provide context and show seriousness. Understanding these differences helps holders maintain perspective and avoid reacting impulsively to every piece of unverified intel. Financial readiness was another cornerstone of the Prime Minister's message. This includes ensuring that liquidity, actual cash flow, and backing is available to support structured exchanges. Financial readiness also involves confirming that banking systems can handle large transactions, staff are trained, and operational procedures are tested. This is not speculation. It is standard financial planning. Knowing that financial readiness is being considered signals that authorities are evaluating necessary infrastructure before moving forward. It also emphasizes that preparation is required at all levels, from governments to banks to holders themselves. Financial readiness is a critical, non-negotiable part of any responsible structured process. Community awareness is another vital topic to address. The dinar community is highly engaged, and PM Sudani's statement has created significant discussion. Awareness matters because being informed allows holders to prepare documentation, protect assets, and verify information. It also reduces the likelihood of mistakes caused by acting on unverified news. Community discussions are healthy when they focus on verified information, process understanding, and practical preparation. By contrast, relying on speculation can create unnecessary risk. Sudani's statements highlight the importance of communication and transparency, providing holders with signals about operational priorities. Being informed allows for responsible engagement and measured expectations. Let's look at potential strategic preparation for holders. While nothing is guaranteed, understanding the process enables strategic readiness. Holders can verify holdings, document notes, secure physical currency, and monitor updates responsibly. The message implies that authorities are considering the steps required for safe, verified activation. Being prepared strategically means recognizing the phases involved, understanding verification requirements, and following official channels. This strategic preparation helps reduce risk and ensures holders can act responsibly when official actions are announced. While no action is immediate, preparation creates confidence and control over outcomes, allowing you to be proactive rather than reactive. We also need to discuss the psychological impact of these signals. When high-level officials like PM Sudani provide statements, it affects confidence, community engagement, and market psychology. Confidence can build momentum for discussion, strategic planning, and responsible preparation. Understanding that these statements are signals, not confirmations, helps holders maintain realistic expectations. The psychological effect is significant because it encourages preparation, informed engagement, and patience rather than impulsive actions based on rumors. Sudani's communication contributes to a culture of careful observation, planning, and analysis, which is crucial in complex financial processes like potential revaluation discussions. International oversight is a topic we must return to because it is the cornerstone of legitimacy. Structured exchanges require international oversight to ensure compliance, recognition, and credibility. Sudani's statements indicate awareness that global financial institutions and regulators are part of the conversation. International oversight is necessary for legitimacy and ensures that processes are documented, verified, and recognized in global markets. For holders, this underscores the importance of relying on verified information, understanding legal and compliance frameworks, and being patient as authorities coordinate with international partners. Oversight ensures that the process is not just an internal Iraqi experiment, but a globally integrated financial event. Let's review why signals are historically important. Over the years, holders have seen speculation, rumors, and misinformation dominate discussions. When a prime minister publicly mentions readiness and timelines, it represents a meaningful, verified signal rather than unverified speculation. Historical context shows that official communications carry weight because they reflect higher-level discussion and planning. Sudani's words fit this pattern, signaling that authorities are actively evaluating processes and considering international and operational readiness. Recognizing the difference between signals and guarantees helps holders maintain perspective and make informed decisions about preparation and expectations. Let's focus on practical steps again, because this is what you can actually control. Holders should continue to verify their notes, keep them secure, and document serial numbers and quantities. Staying informed through credible channels is essential. Understanding the phased, structured approach helps prevent mistakes and ensures readiness. Strategic planning includes knowing the verification process, understanding banking requirements, and preparing for phased activation. The Prime Minister's comments reinforce that these steps are not optional. They are part of responsible preparation. Following these steps ensures that holders are positioned to act safely if the process moves forward without relying on speculation or rumors. We must also discuss potential economic considerations. While no revaluation is confirmed, understanding the economic factors is important. Structured exchanges require careful financial planning, liquidity, and operational readiness. Authorities must evaluate market impact, international recognition, and compliance. Sudani's statements reflect awareness of these factors, signaling that careful consideration is being given to all necessary financial components. For holders, understanding economic implications helps maintain realistic expectations, avoid misinformation, and focus on preparation rather than speculation. Responsible awareness of these considerations is key for informed engagement in the community. Finally, let's summarize why this update is so significant for the future. PM Sudani addressed the potential timing for dinar revaluation by emphasizing financial readiness, operational planning, verification, compliance, and international coordination. While no date or rate was confirmed, the statements reflect high-level attention and seriousness. The key takeaways are to remain patient, verify and secure holdings, document assets, stay informed through credible channels, understand the phased and structured process, and prepare strategically. Signals like these are historically important because they indicate that discussions and planning are happening at the highest levels. By approaching this news responsibly, holders can position themselves to act safely, avoid misinformation, and engage intelligently with future updates. This is a time for diligence, not rash action. It is a time for organization, not speculation. As we continue to monitor the situation, we will bring you the latest analysis on these developing stories. Thank you for trusting the Dinar Daily as your source for balanced, factual news analysis. We will keep our eyes on the wires and our focus on the facts, ensuring you have the information you need to navigate whatever comes next. Stay safe, stay prepared, and we will see you in the next update.